I love good Wi-Fi. Yes, good Wi-Fi. Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 14 of the Everything About Everything Sports Podcast.
You guys talking about six and balls?
So we're going to start off with payday, I guess. Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Was it 745 or 85?
$765 million over 15 years. $75 million signing bonus. And opt out after 5 years, I think. And then if he ends up staying for the 5 years, he gets the last 10 of his contract. He gets $4 more million. So he's going to be $805 million total.
How old is he?
23.
Oh.
He started playing baseball when he was 18 for the Nationals in the World Series.
So what? Alright, let's do some math. So 765 mil divided by 15, right?
Mm-hmm. It'd be like $51 million.
It is. He's making $139,726 a day.
He's making $5,800 an hour.
Yo, what are we doing wrong?
We're not playing professional sport. That's what we're doing wrong. That's what seems to be the highest paying profession, I guess you could call it, if you could call it that. I mean, I thought Shohei Ohtani's contract was massive. It's $700 million. I think the next closest one that comes close to that one was like 500 something. That was like Mahomes.
Yeah, it was.
Like a couple of I can't remember who else in basketball.
NBA money is different too. But damn, dude. And it could go up to 805.
805 million. This will get an extra 4 million. So, how much is that? It'd be an extra $40 million over the 10 years. So 805.
So if he gets everything,
Divided by 10. No. Take you'd have to do 750 divided by 15 again. So that's how he's getting. Okay, so he's getting $51 million a year.
Yeah.
Or no, it's 765. So $51 million a year. And then over 10 years, so 55 times 10, so that's $55 million. Or $550 million in those last 10 years. He'd be getting.
Yeah. He making that money.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
for the Mets now too, which is crazy because I honestly thought he was going to go to either the Yankees, stay with the Yankees, or the Red Sox. Because the Dodgers weren't willing to give up another big ass contract like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's either going to go stay in New York and he's going to stay there for a few years and like either opt out of this next contract in a couple of years, or ask for a trade if it doesn't go well, or he's going to go to the Red Sox and it's going to be like another big Red Sox versus Yankees AL East.
Yeah.
So,
but either way, they're still not making as much as Formula One drivers.
No.
That's like the highest sport pay in the world, apparently.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, on top of you being a professional athlete and pretty like a professional or like a basically a celebrity.
He's going to be a billionaire because of endorsements and everything too.
Yeah, oh yeah. But like a Formula One driver is not only a professional athlete. You're being like a celebrity, pretty much. You're given a multi-billion-dollar. I don't know. Like a multi-million-dollar vehicle to drive around.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton was given a Pagani that had crashed twice.
Yeah.
And he sold for $10 million.
Well, no, like I'm talking like as your job. Like if it was F1 cars are worth millions, probably billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So I mean, like in terms of like all the endorsements you get from that and stuff like that too, because F1 is everywhere. They have their own cards and stuff like that. Like
we should just become an F1 driver. Probably a little bit tall.
Yeah, I think Max Verstappen is pretty tall. I'm pretty sure. Like some people are pretty tall. think he was like 6 foot, something like that.
Buddy, you're 6'4".
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they give you like a little longer wheelbase, probably. I don't know how that works. I know my dad for one of his birthdays, he went on a drag strip and he either was, I don't think he was driving, but he was getting driven in a Nissan GTR.
Oh, okay.
So, and they were doing like laps around the track, which was pretty cool.
Does not compare to how fast those F1 cars are.
I know, but
They're crazy fast.
yeah, and the tires are basically no tread whatsoever.
No tread and they're soft. Like when you see it, if you see an F1 tire kind of spin, it like falls over and grabs the pavement and like launches itself forward.
And the fact that it gets so hot in those things,
Yeah.
you're basically like in a sauna.
It's at, well, it is hot in there because you're sitting like right in front of the engine. But I mean, NASCAR. I think the NASCAR, like the inside of the cabin of that, is hotter than an F1 because F1 is open, so you have the wind blowing basically right over your head, so it can cool you off. With NASCAR, you have the windshield. You're isolated in that thing. You have like the roll cages and stuff like that, and the engine is like right next to you and behind you in the NASCAR. So it's hotter in those things, I'm pretty sure. But no, still, I mean, like you still see like an F1 driver get out of the car and they're sweating their ass off.
Yeah.
So like,
Me on a regular day just sweating.
well, yeah, and plus you're in that. I think it's a nylon suit.
Yeah, they have to have something like that because it has to be flame retardant, right?
Yeah.
Because they used, for all you history buffs out there, they didn't used to be flame proof.
No.
And they learned that out the hard way that it needs to be flame proof.
They just had like emergency crews and stuff like that on the side of the track, which they still do, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
they used to just have like huge flamethrowers and like fire hoses and stuff like that. If anything caught on fire, like a tire or like the car itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But any other baseball news?
Um, Tigers are currently targeting Christian Walker from the Arizona Diamondbacks, right-handed first baseman. Still want them to get Alex Bregman. Still want them to pick up a couple more pitchers and another big bat. Um, but I was thinking about it the other day. I was um, like the Tigers realistically, like they don't have a very big payroll,
Mm-hmm.
so this offseason, if any offseason, should be the one where we go out and we spend money. And winter meetings also started for baseball. Uh, just a minute ago.
Nice.
I want to say like last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like or maybe this weekend. And yeah, I still want to make moves. Nothing's happened yet. No big moves have happened yet. Apparently, Hassan Kim is becoming more of a target from the San Diego Padres, which is fine. He's a great infielder. He can pretty much play anywhere in the infield. Um, but his bat is no question. He's not a very good hitter. At least as of recently. Um, but that's why I want them to get Bregman. He's your stalwart third baseman if you do get him. He's a great hitter, veteran. Played with AJ Hinch before. I mean, we've talked about this before, but
Yeah.
it's like that's that's what everyone was looking for or looking forward to for the Tigers to do. It just hasn't happened yet. If at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. On top of apparently Jack Flaherty is in the works to come back to the Tigers too. Apparently we're targeting him, which I would not be opposed to. He played great in the playoffs for the Dodgers. So if he comes back to the Tigers, that's cool, that's fine. But I feel like you want to add another person other than him. So like we were talking about, if Verlander does end up coming back to the Tigers, or if they do get like another like veteran pitcher, like of Verlander status,
Yeah.
make sure you get someone else who can slot in case they go down with an injury or they're just not panning out for him.
Yeah.
So I feel like Flaherty would be a good pitcher, but I mean, do you really want to with the exact same rotation that you had from last year, pretty much. Other than Jackson Job and Tyler Montero possibly coming up, which
I don't know. That would be you would be more inclined to answer that question because I look at baseball. I'm like, cool, we're winning. You know more of the ins and outs.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you did end up having bringing Flaherty back, like I said, you'd probably want to add like beef up your bullpen again and maybe get someone on the back end of the rotation. Like I said, like another veteran,
Mm-hmm.
or if you can get someone else, like if you can get someone in a trade, or if you can get a who's the other free agent? Well, I don't know. Blake Snell signed with the Dodgers. You can't get him now. So that's what I was gonna say. If you get like a Blake Snell, but you can't. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the Tigers do. What they end up doing. Um, yeah. Getting a right-handed bat too is probably key. Like I know that they have they I do know they have I think it's like out of their lineup in the playoffs. I think it was like 4 or 5 out of the 9 were lefties,
Mm.
and that's where the main where a lot of your run totals are coming from. You have Gary Carpenter, Parker Meadows, Riley Green, um, Keith. Like all those guys are left-handed hitters.
Yeah.
And from the right side of the plate, you have Jake Rogers and Spencer Torkelson. And that's really it. Winslow Perez is a lefty, I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, so like you'd want a left hand or right handed bat to kind of balance out how your hitters are hitting from either side of the plate. Because then teams can play you a certain way and pitch you a certain way, so where they can isolate those, to neutralize those left-handed hitters. And if
Yeah.
the right-handed hitters aren't performing, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well.
yeah, but we still have a lot to look forward to. I saw that spring training starts on February 20th. That's when the spring training games will start, and then they play all through March, and then the end of March, beginning of April is when the actual regular season will start.
Yeah.
So we're getting closer.
Which is crazy because what we were just talking about playoffs for baseball
And the
and
World Series.
yeah, and now we're a couple of months out and then they start up again.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Baseball has, I think, obviously it has the longest season of any other pro sports because you have 162 games.
Yeah.
But it also has, in turn, because of that, it also has the shortest off season.
Yeah.
So, professional athletes are practicing, training,
All the time.
getting better all year round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on when the actual training and when all your practice will add up and when it starts to matter.
Yeah. So I looked today. Um, Pistons are 10-15, so we're that much closer to beating our old record. And it's kind of the start of this season almost. Like it's like third way through, but ish.
10-15, 25 out of 82, yeah. But maybe like a quarter or third of the way.
Yeah. Which we're doing a lot better.
We are. Yeah. We have a lot more close games too against good teams.
Yeah. Right now. Oh, I'm looking at my bets right now. I placed one bet right now, and CD Lamb scored.
Oh boy.
RJ Barrett has 17 points, but Jalen Brunson can't get another point. I need Jalen Brunson to score. I also need Jamar and T. Higgins to score, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so
Red Wings are now down 5-3. 2 minutes to go in a second.
ooh, who they play?
Buffalo Sabres, division rival.
Mm.
Just don't get me started on the I almost don't want to talk about hockey today. We're on another 5-game losing streak. Going to be 6-game losing streak.
Oof.
This is not good. We are second to last in the division, 10-13.
Yikes. Hey.
And Derek Malone is still employed.
Yeah. Do the good old Matt Eberflus and give the fuck out of there.
Yes. Dude, he should have been down already. Should have been down already.
Don't give him a press conference, though. Fire. Just do it quickly.
I mean, you kind of use.
Take him out back like old Yeller.
I mean, he's going to get a press conference anyway. He's going to have it was a pleasure to start my head coaching career here in Detroit. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's going to have something to say afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to get hired someplace else. Probably not as a head coach. Maybe as like an assistant coach, or maybe he goes down to the minors and probably head coaches in the minors or something like that. But I don't know. Time for a change, I think, with the Red Wings.
So, what do you want to position to? You want to talk about the NFL first, or do we want to talk about college football?
I think we should talk about college football first because it's staying relatively static for a little bit now. We have what 2 or 3 weeks before we have another game.
Yes. Yes, I think so.
No, we have one this upcoming Saturday, Army Navy.
Yeah.
But then until then, we don't have one again until the.
Has the full bowl game?
17th. This is like Memphis, West Virginia, James Madison, Western Kentucky, Cal, UNLV. So in terms of the actual games are starting next weekend, like the playoff games.
Yeah.
The 20th, Friday the 20th, Indiana, Notre Dame. Saturday, we have SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, and Tennessee versus OSU. Monday, we have North Carolina, UTSA versus Illinois.
All right.
Or Illinois versus Fresno. And then we have a couple other good games.
All right. So, for those of you who do know or who didn't watch it, this is the first week of the playoff bracket. I'm just going to say who's in the playoffs because not everybody knows. Clemson is the 12th seed. They're playing Texas. I believe Texas is going to steamroll.
They should.
Yeah, they really should. And if that's the case, I think Texas is going to beat Arizona State at that point.
Yeah.
Because Arizona State won the Big 12 championship, so they got the automatic bye.
If you ask me, Texas probably has one of the easier slots to the final.
Yes.
But they are going to have to run into Oregon if Oregon ends up winning against the winner of
Tennessee and Ohio. I believe Tennessee will win that game, even though it's in Ohio State.
That's going to be like the main chunk of the bracket right there. I feel like.
Yeah.
SMU, Penn State plays Boise State.
I do think Penn State's going to win. Boise would be cool to win against Penn State, though.
I would like to see Boise win. I would like to see them in the Final Four. Going all the way and winning out and winning the championship, though. Like I said, you do have to run into one of Tennessee, OSU, Oregon, or Georgia.
Yeah. Indiana Notre Dame might be a good game.
It is going to be a really good game. It's a rivalry.
Yeah. And so they, even though it's a home game for Notre Dame, they're not traveling that far.
No. Yeah, it'll be probably a 50-50.
Like SMU has the farthest to travel.
Is it in Notre Dame Stadium? Oh, I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's crazy that they have. Oh, yeah, it is in Notre Dame Stadium. That's weird that they haven't at the home teams. Usually they're all bowl games.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a bowl game yet. It's just the first round match.
Yeah, so Clemson and Texas is the farthest away, and SMU and Penn State's the farthest away, too. So those guys have to travel pretty far. But you're also...
Wait, what did you say?
Clemson has to travel to Texas, and that's pretty far.
I think Clemson is in, like, the Carolinas or something like that. I don't think it's terribly far. It's like, I think they're still, like, in the same region, I'm pretty sure.
I know. I'm going to check how far it is, because I want to make sure I'm correct.
I think Clemson... Yeah, it's in South Carolina. Sykes Hall. So,
15 hours and 19 minutes.
By car? Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're going to be flying, obviously, but for a normal person, I'm for driving. That's a long way to go.
Yeah. SMU to Penn State, I'm pretty sure might take the cake because Penn State is Happy Valley and SMU's in Texas.
Yeah.
So I think that is a little bit longer. But everything else is pretty close. Tennessee and Ohio, that's pretty close. And Indiana, I know that's
Yeah. So 19 hours and 40 minutes by car, but obviously they fly, and they're on a airline. So,
Yeah.
but I think these are all well deserved. The first team out was Alabama, and the second team out was Miami.
Yeah. Alabama, I mean, you can't. I mean, you really can't complain that they're out.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have lost those 3 games that you lost. And yeah, I mean, it's just you kind of.
For the most part, I agree with everything. I agree with the rankings. I think the committee did a good job.
Yeah. I feel like putting SMU in over Clemson was kind of a little bit of a question mark. I feel like maybe we could have switched those 2 positions.
Maybe, but
Because Clemson did beat SMU.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think they took into account that it was the last second field goal.
Yeah.
To win it, and it was a 56-yarder too.
Yeah, I think SMU does have a better season schedule or season record.
So I'm going to go over what we know for the exact bowl games right now. South Carolina State versus Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl. Ooh. South Alabama versus Western Michigan in the Crampton Bowl.
Well, do you have them? Pull it. Why didn't you pull it up on ESPN? You're reading it.
I know, but I don't have ESPN.
Oh,
that's
because you're reading them out of order. That's like the way they go is South Alabama versus Western Michigan, the first one. That's the 14th of December. And then Memphis, West Virginia. And then what you said, yeah, Western Kentucky versus James Madison.
This is from NCAA.com. Okay. So the Frisco Bowl, Memphis first. I'm not saying it even in order, either. I'm just going down the list of what they have. But the Frisco Bowl, Memphis was ranked number 25. Oh. Versus West Virginia. I feel like that would be a decent game.
Yeah.
Boca Raton Bowl, James Madison, Western Kentucky.
Park of Sport LA.
Yeah. UNLV versus Cal.
You know Snoop Dogg has a bowl?
Yeah.
A bowl game?
The New Orleans Bowl, Sam Houston versus Georgia Southern. The Cure Bowl. What's the Cure Bowl? Cure Bowl.
That's a good question. I'm not too sure. You have the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, Georgia Southern, and Sam Houston.
Yeah. Gasparilla Bowl in Raymond James Stadium. Florida versus Tulane. That's going to be decent.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Then you go into Indiana at Notre Dame. SMU. Myrtle Beach Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus UTSA.
Yeah.
Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Northern Illinois versus Fresno State.
Damn.
The Hawaii Bowl. South Florida versus San Jose State.
So I think the thing with the Hawaii Bowl is it's supposed to be like an East versus West Coast thing. So that's why it's like, but that's a hike for South Florida.
Yeah.
Or a hike in a swim.
Yeah. Game above the Game Above Sports Bowl, which
that's the one in Detroit.
I believe that used to be the Quick Lane Bowl.
Yeah.
That's Pitt versus Toledo, which I feel like that'd be kind of a decent game.
It would. Pitt used to be ranked, I'm pretty sure, earlier in the season. But yeah, that'll be a good one for to see here in Detroit.
The Rate Bowl, Rutgers versus K State. I feel like that's decent.
Yeah. Kansas State used to be ranked.
Yeah.
Of the year, so
and Rutgers destroyed Michigan State too to make them to make them unbowl eligible. Yeah. That's great. 68 Ventures Bowl, Arkansas State versus Bowling Green. Yeah. Armed Forces Bowl, Navy versus Oklahoma.
Presented by Lockheed Martin. So you know they're going to have pretty kick-ass flyover for that game.
Yeah. The Birmingham Bowl is going to be good. Georgia Tech versus Vandy.
Yeah, the game of the upstairs.
Yeah. Liberty Bowl, Arkansas versus Texas Tech. I believe Arkansas is going to steamroll them, but that's just me.
I think that would be a pretty good game.
The Holiday Bowl, Syracuse versus Washington State. I feel like that's going to be a good game too.
Yeah, Syracuse is ranked, and I know Wazoo was towards the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Stepped up to in the 20s and then fell back out.
Yeah. The Las Vegas Bowl, USC Texas A&M is going to be a good game.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I'm pretty sure that, if I'm not mistaken, is at what is it, Allegiant, where the
Yeah.
Raiders play?
Yeah, that it's an awesome stadium. I've seen the outside. Great place. The Fenway Bowl,
UConn versus North Carolina at Fenway Park.
That's a good matchup.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Boston College versus Nebraska. That'll be a good one too.
New Mexico Bowl, TCU versus Louisiana. I'm assuming that's the Raging Cajuns, right?
Yeah, Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
Okay. Pop-Tarts Bowl, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good matchup.
Miami versus Iowa State, yeah, that's a good matchup. That is true. Arizona Bowl is kind of ass.
Yeah. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio versus Colorado State.
I think Snoop Dogg deserves better than that.
Yeah.
The Military Bowl, NC State versus East Carolina.
Go Bowling Military Bowl.
Okay.
Very cool.
Alamo Bowl, BYU versus Colorado. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Independence Bowl, Army's going to steamroll Marshall, probably.
Yeah. I think Marshall was ranked too.
Yeah, dude. A lot of these weird teams were
ranked.
Yeah. Missouri versus Iowa, I think, is going to be a pretty good bowl game. Music City Bowl in Nashville. I feel like that's pretty good. The ReliaQuest Bowl, Alabama versus Michigan.
Going it back to the early Orange Bowl when Alabama played Michigan. I think it was like 2010 or something like that.
Let's be honest, we're going to lose.
Yeah, sure, you never know. You took down Ohio State.
That's because Ryan Day cared about narrative instead of actually winning the fucking game.
But how many guys from Alabama are going to opt out of that game because they're going to the league?
So that means, but Will Johnson, Coastal Loveland, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant will play, but Coastal Loveland will probably opt out.
Oh, you never know. If they're still injured.
Yeah.
If they're still injured, they're not going to play regardless. But I feel like Michigan will have more guys play.
Oh, it's at midnight.
Then that's at noon.
Fuck. Never mind.
12 a.m. is midnight.
But I'll be working.
Record it. And
then. Yeah. Louisville versus Washington. That might be pretty decent.
Tony the Tiger's Sun Bowl. That one is.
The Citrus Bowl. South Carolina versus Illinois. I think that would be pretty good. I think South Carolina is going to kill them, though.
That would be good. Hopefully Illinois wears those uniforms they did against us.
Texas Bowl, LSU versus Baylor. LSU is winning that.
Yeah, you think so.
And then this is all the, we'll see who
TBD.
Yeah.
What is it? The Rose Bowl, Chick-fil-A, Peach Bowl, the Sugar Bowl,
yeah,
and the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. The Gator Bowl, Ole Miss versus Duke. Ole Miss is gonna kill them.
Yeah. The Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl are the second round matchups.
Yeah.
Or like the Final Four.
Yeah. The First Responder Bowl, North Texas versus Texas State, kind of ass.
Yeah,
Duke's Mayo Bowl.
In-state rivalry though for that one. The First Responder Bowl.
Yeah. Duke's Mayo Bowl, Minnesota versus Virginia Tech. I wonder if Will Levis will be there.
Yeah, that could be a good game too. That's a good uniform matchup too.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech and Minnesota have some pretty sweet uniforms and pretty sweet helmets too.
The Bahamas Bowl, Liberty versus Buffalo.
That's kind of a fan matchup.
Yeah.
But I mean, Buffalo and Liberty, I feel like that'll be one of those games. It's at 11 a.m. though, but I feel like that'll be one of those games that's like wild. Like you'll have like a crazy amount of turnovers or something like that.
And then obviously we got the Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl, and then the CFP.
There you go, the national championship game.
Yep. All right. Now I wanted to talk about the Michigan recruits that we. I want to talk.
Yeah.
So overall, this is from 24/7 Sports, by the way. These are the people who've signed letters of intent and are hard commits. Okay, we are ranked 9th overall.
Yeah.
Texas had the number 1 recruiting class, apparently.
Yeah.
I saw that today. But there's 20 out of the 23 people we have so far. 22 of them have signed the letter of intent.
Yeah.
So the big one is Bryce Underwood, the number 1 recruit overall.
Yeah.
QB.
Yeah. Another quarterback for us, possibly starting his freshman year.
I mean, we're paying him $12 million or more. I hope he fucking plays.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Andrew Babalola. He is a offensive tackle. Big boy, 6'6", 280.
Yeah.
Shamari Earls. I don't know much about these guys other than Bryce Underwood. I might Andrew Marsh. He's a wide receiver.
Oh wait, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Michigan's Instagram page right now.
Yeah.
They have all of the commits. Like they have like their own posts, and it shows like where they're from. It's all comic book characters.
Yeah.
So like this one's a Silver Surfer. This guy's Cyborg. Who's this guy? There's another Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I like how they did it.
Yeah, this guy I think is the Vulture.
Yeah.
Deadpool. This guy has Deadpool shit. That's actually cool. Wolverine, which that's fitting. But yeah.
I'm trying to Chase Herbstreit.
Yeah, so that's interesting because his dad, Kirk Herbstreit, played for Ohio State. And now his son is playing for Michigan.
And he's a hard commit.
Yeah, he is definitely going.
But the thing is, I really hope he plays. He's a QB. He's not going to play over Bryce.
No, he probably won't. But I mean, you never know.
So I hope he switched positions.
Well, I mean, you never know if he can play because you don't know if Bryce Underwood just doesn't pan out.
I guess.
He just doesn't play good. We don't play him his freshman year, or he gets injured or something.
Yeah.
Or Chase Herbstreit's freaking amazing, and we ended up putting him in.
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
6'2", 185. That would be a good wide receiver, though, too.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a quarterback, coming in as a quarterback, it's hard to switch a quarterback out from his position. If you're a wide receiver, it's easier to switch a wide receiver to like a corner or a safety or something, or like a running back to a linebacker or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of hard to switch a quarterback out from their position.
Yeah.
Because they usually have a certain build.
Yeah.
They have maybe not all the other skills like catching and running or as developed. So.
Who knows? But that's funny though. That's got you know, Kirk was like, really?
Yeah, he's like, Dad, I'm thinking about going to Michigan.
He's like, let's watch this game. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And let's see if it changes your mind.
And then now he just gets up and walks away. He's like, yeah, you didn't change my mind. You just reaffirmed my decision.
Yeah. I bet you if he helps us, if Chase Herbstreit helps us win that national title, Kirk Herbstreit would be.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, dude. I like the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have a pretty good class.
We do. I'm looking at a lot of the guys here. A lot of them are coming from Michigan.
Yeah.
So this guy's from Howell, Michigan. IMG Academy.
Yeah, Florida boys.
Grove, Michigan.
We did a lot of in-state recruiting.
Yeah.
which usually isn't what Michigan does.
No, yeah. Usually Michigan will grab from places like Texas or like Pennsylvania, like
Yeah,
the states who have like good football talent but aren't necessarily known for it. But then they also do grab from Michigan, and
but it's all
oddly enough, what Michigan and Ohio State will do is Ohio State usually will grab from like Ohio, Texas, Florida, stuff like that, like some of the bigger name states. And
yeah,
then Michigan grabs a lot of their talent from Ohio,
yeah.
which is interesting. But now it seems like we're outweighing Michigan recruits from
And
pretty
the
much
thing
anywhere
is,
else.
Ohio State would come get kids from Michigan. I'm like, dude, what the hell are these Michigan kids doing?
Yeah, yeah. Like, and granted, probably a lot of them grew up state fans, didn't grow up Michigan fans. They're from areas like that had more ties to like central, western, eastern places like
Yeah,
that.
but still, go to Michigan State. If you have Ohio State, you have Michigan State.
I mean, yeah, but if you're if think of you being a professional like professional. Well, I mean, really, they technically kind of are professional players.
Now, because there's going to be a salary cap.
But if you were being recruited by an NFL, by Jesus Christ, I can't speak. If you were being recruited by a college football team and you were given the choice between going to Ohio State and Michigan State, where would you go?
But that was the whole dilemma. What's my favorite school? Because I would go
Well,
to my favorite school over.
well, that's just you though. That's just an example.
Yeah.
These guys have their families talking in their ear. They're honestly thinking about probably like where they're going to get the most money, where they're going to get the most what's the word like flack rapport,
Yeah.
like to go up to the league eventually.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Ohio State, there's a good chance you're going to the league. You just can't beat Michigan. That's all right.
I mean, yeah, it's just one thing. You always have one loss in your record.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think about it. Like if you
We're
were
talking
going,
so much shit. I'm so scared for next year.
I'm not.
I
No, if anything, dude, if we win 5 years in a row, that's not even talking about. Okay, that we still have. That's 340 something days away. So yeah, so yeah,
Ryan Day needs to win a championship if he's going to be there.
he needs to. Fuck winning a championship. He needs to worry about winning a game first. He might not get out of the first round.
If he doesn't get out of the first round, he's gone.
Yeah, yeah. You lose back-to-back games.
They
One
might
against
fire him even if he gets to the national title.
No, no. I think if you win, if you get to, he marches his way through the playoffs. I think they'll keep him until the end of the year if they are going to fire him at all. Because if you lose to Michigan but you win a national championship,
He's still 66-10 overall.
right?
Let's
No,
be honest.
he's not a bad coach, but he's just not a coach that's built for like big games like that. But we did see him go to a national championship one year and lose, granted. But we never know what he's going to do this year. But if he doesn't make it out of the
Was
first
that the
round, I think
national
he's gone.
title?
Yeah, it was versus Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he beat who did he beat to go? I think he beat TCU. Or no, we beat TCU to go. I think he beat
No, he lost to Georgia.
no, yeah, he lost to Georgia in the national title.
No, it wasn't the national title because we lost to TCU, and then Georgia played TCU in the national title and steamrolled them.
I thought Georgia played. I think didn't Georgia play someone else in the national title? Wasn't it?
No, it was Georgia and TCU because Georgia barely won because the Ohio State kicker missed the kick. I
I
know,
don't remember that.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I was talking so much shit.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did go to the national title.
I know Urban did.
National Football Championship history. Georgia, Clemson, Alabama. Yeah, I think it was 2021 that he won, and he lost to Georgia. And then
Despite
last year,
leading the Buckeyes to 3 college football appearances and 6 full seasons as a head coach, Day has failed to win the national championship and only reached it. All right. He was destroyed by the Alabama Crimson Tide 52-24 in 2020.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Was that during COVID?
Yeah, that was the COVID year. That was the year Michigan didn't even play Ohio State. Yeah, because the last time we played them was 2019. That's the last time we lost. So it's like Michigan technically hasn't lost to Ohio State in 5 years. We've beaten them 4 years in a row. We won 2021, 2, 3, and 2024.
1,825 days.
Yeah.
So,
Give or take, because it doesn't land on the same date every year.
yeah, but it's probably a little bit more, I would assume.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Well, especially now because we have to wait till next year.
Yeah, so yeah, days have gone by since we played them last. So yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I really have for college football.
Um, I wanted to touch on that Georgia Tennessee game or Texas game because that was a classic.
That was, I will say, all those, like, just to see who was going to be conference championships, all those games were really good.
They really were. Yeah, even Oregon versus Penn State. Even that.
That was a really good one. Even Arizona State, Iowa State was fun to watch because you were watching Scatterboo run over everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, if you're an Iowa State fan, not
great. Georgia versus Texas game though, that was an absolute classic in the making because it was really like an old school type of football feel.
Yeah,
like it felt like it was like a '60s, '70s football game with how many fumbles and turnovers there were, like the different like just I don't know, it just felt like a different kind of football than what I've normally seen. It was like way more action packed. It felt like it was like way higher stakes. You had a backup quarterback come in and finish the game off.
Yo, that dude is Beck out?
I'm not too sure. Actually.
What did Beck do? I know it was his elbow.
I can't remember.
Injury update. All right.
But yeah, no, that game was absolutely insane. It was like how they were chasing the ball around on the ground after turnovers, how many turnovers there were, like just the atmosphere of the game and how it looked on the field, like how it looked from watching it, and it was a classic game. Like I feel like people are gonna be looking back on that game for years to come because it's the first SEC championship where you've had Texas play in the SEC and they almost won it in their first year. Now the SEC has a new look as well. So I mean, it was definitely a really really good
Yeah. So Carson Beck um, came in for the last play that they won to hand off the ball.
So he came back in the game.
Yeah, but he has an elbow injury and he has no timetable for return.
Is it his throwing elbow?
Yes, it's his throwing elbow.
So he's probably out.
Yeah, and then the punter is out too.
Ooh.
With a knee injury.
The college punters and college kickers are kind of. I mean, college kickers are a little bit different. Like you have one guy to rely on, but college punters, I feel like every college program has like three.
So Beck is probably for sure out. So whoever the backup is, dude, he was slinging it. That first drive, dude. Oh my god! How the turntables turned.
He was playing well. And if he can replicate that, and if he can,
and he's not afraid to get hit.
If he can have the rest of his team step up too, I mean, Georgia can still end up winning the whole thing.
Georgia versus Oregon. That's what I think is going to happen. Georgia versus Oregon.
I feel like if Georgia versus Oregon, or maybe you have like a Texas versus Georgia, like a Texas versus Oregon.
That would be crazy for the third time.
The third time this year, yeah. And then you have
because Georgia's up 2-0.
Right, yeah, no. But I feel like how the final four is going to pan out. I feel it's going to be Georgia versus Notre Dame, and then I don't know, they have to play each other to begin with. Yeah. So it'd be like Georgia. I don't know.
All I hope is we don't get like Notre Dame versus Georgia or like Oregon versus whoever. Yeah, I don't want like those games to be better than the national championship. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. I mean, sometimes that does happen. You see that happen a lot in the NFL. NFC Championship games will be sometimes better than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I
But
just hope that doesn't happen
I don't
because
know.
there's like really good matchups in those. I wonder how the national title goes.
See, I'm in the ballpark of like I don't have my team's not in the CFP
I said
right
I'm an
now, so I
Oregon
just want to see.
bandwagon,
So I
so
just want to see like a good team, just good football and a good team win. That's it.
the only team I don't want to win is in there though.
No, yeah, of course. But I mean, if you ask
I
me, I
still
don't
don't.
think they're gonna win.
I don't think they're going to make it out first round, especially usually it would be like, oh shit, you're playing at home, and Ohio State is a hard place to play. But at the
Yeah,
same time, everybody is booing you. Everybody was booing you.
yeah. And I mean, you do have Ohio State does have another week of rest over Tennessee or Texas because Texas just played in the SEC
I
championship.
still think
Or wait,
Texas.
no, they're playing Tennessee. Not
Yeah, they're
Texas.
playing Tennessee, but I still think Tennessee. Tennessee won against Alabama, right? No, maybe.
Yes.
Or was that last
Yeah.
year?
Clemson versus Texas, Tennessee versus Ohio State. Yeah. So I feel like the Final Four could end up being like it could end up being Texas versus Oregon, and then maybe a Boise State versus Georgia, or like a Penn State versus Georgia, and then you end up having Georgia versus Ohio State, or Georgia versus Oregon, or Georgia versus Texas, or shooting in Tennessee. Because that is the hardest route to get to the championship right there. It's Tennessee, Ohio State, and then the winner of that plays Oregon.
Yeah,
That is a meat grinder.
yeah. Honestly, the Arizona State one, everybody's like licking their chops at. Yeah, who's that? That's Clemson.
Clemson in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Clemson wins that. Who knows? Clemson,
No.
Georgia national title.
You never know. I mean, we're talking about having Georgia and Oregon in the national championship. It could be neither of those teams.
It
It could
could.
be a Boise State versus Tennessee national
That would
championship,
be awesome.
or like a Penn State versus Texas,
Or
or something like
SMU
that.
is in there somehow.
Or like a Notre Dame versus Texas, or something like that. Like that's the
We
thing about
don't
having
know
12
what's going
teams.
to.
No,
This is the perfect year to have done the 12 team bracket.
the only thing you do know is that those four teams are going to play somebody, so half of the matchup for the next round is already set.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the only thing that you're guaranteed. But having those teams come off of that's also a debate too. Is would you rather have the week of rest or play the game and have momentum going into the following one? So it's like if you would rather so like Tennessee playing Ohio State, would you rather have the momentum and beat Ohio State and have that morale boost and have like already conditioned for a big game like that and play
Uh,
Oregon, or would you rather be Oregon and have the week of rest
it
and be
depends on
perfectly
the
healthy?
team.
Right. No. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. Like I feel like if you're Clemson and Texas and
You
you play
need that
Arizona State,
momentum.
you probably need the momentum because Arizona State is they're probably one of the lower ranked teams or like lower ranked teams like one of the more skilled teams in terms of like how much damage they can do.
Yeah.
But they are in the national championship for a reason. They're
Yeah.
in the playoff for a reason, and they did win their conference. So regardless of who you're playing, it's a playoff. Like if you ask me, a lot of these games are 50-50.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them are 50-50. And then if you have whoever wins going to the next round and playing that team, it's still probably 50-50. Like if you Penn State versus SMU, that's probably a toss up. And then you play Boise State.
Yeah.
That's a toss up. Indiana versus Notre Dame going to Georgia. It's like that's probably one of the more lopsided ones, and that's still probably 55-45.
Yeah.
And then you have Clemson playing Texas. That's a toss up, even though I probably think Texas is going to win. But then you play Arizona State. So is
Yeah.
Arizona State going to benefit because they're healthy, going off of that week of rest, and then play a beat up team and then go into the Final Four? Or is it going to be opposite, like where the momentum thing I was talking about? So it's like, and it's like I said, it honestly could go either way. We're talking about having Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, or Texas, Georgia. But it could end up being anybody. It could be, like I said, it could be Boise State versus Clemson.
What's going on? I should say.
No, yeah. College football, it's going to be fun to watch this year. Like we said, we don't have a stake in necessarily who wins, but we know who we want to
Yeah,
lose.
that goes without saying.
They do have a like I said, they do have a very tough route. They're playing Tennessee, Oregon, and they're probably going to. However, if they do beat Oregon, they're going to have to play someone in another round, and then the national championship after that.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to play one, two. This is a 4 game playoff. This is like an NFL style playoff almost.
I'm wondering if I should cash out right now or not.
What do you got?
I only need T to score, and then I get all the money.
Where's that game at right now?
It's second quarter, 4 minutes left. Since he has the ball. Oh, second and goal on the Dallas 19. Or no, second and 5 on Dallas 19.
I'd stick it out. I'd say.
Oh, it says cash out unavailable anyways.
So sometimes it just says that because that person has the ball, like that team has the ball.
Yeah.
I've noticed it when I was watching my bets for Thanksgiving. It was going back and forth like that too.
Yeah.
So it's you like just check it again. I'd say if he doesn't score by the start of the fourth quarter, it'd probably be a good idea to play.
If it lets
you.
Yeah. But all right. Speaking of which, NFL.
Yeah.
Swept the Packers. I think for the second year in a row.
Yeah. So we have 2 more divisional games coming up, so we can end up having a divisional sweep this year.
We could.
Yeah, and Bills losing to the Chargers. Rams, yeah. Well, yeah, LA. And then
42-44.
Yeah, that was a great game.
What the fuck happened? I didn't watch it.
That was a great.
Was it a safety?
What?
Was it a safety? Like
no, 41 or 42,
44. Was that?
No, I'm saying like 42 is a multiple of 7.
Okay.
So it could have been a safety, or maybe they could have had. I know you can get to 39, or no, not 39, 38. You can get to by field goals and touchdowns. So they might have had like another touchdown on top of that.
Maybe
they just had like it's just a weird number.
Yeah, I was going to say that's such a weird number. Honestly, I don't know how I feel because I'm like happy that they lost. Does that mean that are they going to come pissed for us, or is it like, oh shit, we're kind of banged up? Or
so 44, you can get 35 times 7 times 5 is 35. Field goal is 38. 2 more field goals is 44. Oh, just 6 points.
All right. Thank you, math genius. But I'm like, is it like, oh, we're kind of banged up and we're losing morale because it was such a close lost game, or are we coming in pissed?
It is in Buffalo. There's another thing.
It's here. It's here.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, yeah. Or no, I'm saying like the what you call it? No, they did play. They played in LA too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, no, it is here. But like I'm saying, like I thought it was in Buffalo. So it was like you lost at home and you're going on the road. We tougher than if you lost away and you're going back away. So I feel like going from an away game to an away game versus losing at home to going an away game would be rougher because you just lost at home and then you have the day of travel.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still do have the day of travel because you lost away in Los Angeles and then you're traveling all the way from LA to Detroit.
Yeah.
So it does kind of work both ways. So you have a big loss like that, but they did score 42 points. You have to remember that.
Because, a lot of points.
And I know the Lions' offense is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. Do you have the capability to score 44 points against that defense, or at least 42 points against that defense, and have your defense stand tall enough to limit them?
I was going to say, we demonstrated that we can put up that amount of points, not against that defense.
Not against that defense. Well, I argue that we would because we beat the Texans, but we didn't score that amount of points. But we did kind of.
And the Packers, they have a really good defense too.
Yeah. So we did score. I think we scored 30-something points against the Texans.
Yeah, we're capable of scoring a lot of points against good defenses, but the same thing goes. They scored a lot of points against us.
No, yeah. I don't know. It's weird because if anything now, it should honestly give your defense and give your offense more confidence because the Bills let the Rams score 44 points.
They didn't
Now the
practice today.
Rams
Never mind. I was going to look up the injury report, but they didn't practice
the
today.
Rams do have a really good offense. They have obviously Stafford, Cooper Cup, Puka Nakua, but their defense isn't the most.
It's not
It's
crazy.
not great. Yeah, it's not great. Bills have both sides of the ball just like we do. So would you be more confident in your offense now, or in your in your offense now that you saw the Rams put up 44 points against them, and they're coming off of a win, they're getting beat up after that big game, or would you still want to, or would you have less confidence in your defense because you saw them score 44
I
points or
believe.
42 points?
I believe. Is Keon Coleman playing?
I'm sure he probably is.
If we can stop the run, we have a better chance.
Yeah,
And that
that
means
is true.
stopping Josh Allen from running too.
Right. Yeah, dude scored 51 fantasy points.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah. So if we can if we can keep him contained and make him throw the ball, we have a better chance of because Terry and Arnold's doing way better.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Kirby Joseph, we could get more interceptions.
We could, but I mean, the thing with Josh Allen though is if you give him a lot of time in the pocket and to move around, he's going to end up making a play.
Yeah.
And now that we have only McNeil down as well, we're going to have an even tougher time getting to him and containing him.
I think he might be back. I don't know. That's the thing because they didn't practice, so there's no injury report today.
No, yeah.
Because I was watching the press conference with Dan Campbell, and he's like, we don't know yet. He's like, I wish could give you something, but we don't know yet. He's like, Ozarike could be back this week.
Yeah, Ozarika could be back.
He said Decker could be back.
I know Pascal and Barnes. Those guys could be back. Still waiting for a word on Kaminsky. I know they said that he was supposed to come back. I think at the beginning or before the end of the regular season. We haven't heard anything about him yet.
He was talking about. He's like, yeah, we're probably going to wait till the last game for Anzalone.
Yeah.
We're going to club that bitch up.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, he didn't say anything about Kaminsky. Um, but he's like, Rakestraw could be back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ray Shaw could be back. Um, who else? Who else do we have out? Well, Davenport's down. Um, Malcolm Rodriguez is out for the year. Taylor Decker, he could be back next week.
Yeah.
Melifonwu.
Yeah, they were talking about Melifano.
Melifonwu. You just have a lot of spread out injuries, and your linebacker core is insane. So I mean,
All you got,
Jack Campbell.
and Ben Neiman.
Yeah.
That's about it. And that's why Jamal Adams, he's like, Jamal Adams. Did Jamal Adams play last week? I don't think he did. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he played last week.
I don't really pay attention. I was just focusing on Goff or Dan Campbell really having the biggest balls in the league.
Dude, he has to carry him around on a wheelbarrow. I mean, I honestly kind of defend that position or that decision because I think you're in their territory. So if anything, it would be like you got stuck on the 20th and went 3 and out, or 20 yard line and went 3 and out and punted it.
It's honestly, I don't think he said why he did it. He might have. But he's like,
he's trying to win the game.
Yeah.
That's why he did it.
I know, but he's like, he's probably in his head, he was thinking, the way our defense is playing right now, they would probably have no issue getting to field goal range and making it overtime. And he's like, I don't want to make a coin toss decide.
No, yeah. I mean, you could go ahead, you could take the first down and win that game. Go ahead right away and do it. I mean, I think it was a 4th and 1 or like a 4th and inches or something
And luckily, Goff is 6'4".
We ran the ball.
I know, but luckily he's 6'4" and was able to just give it to Montgomery. Because if he was like Kyler Murray's height, oh, he'd be in the ground. I'm talking the last run to Montgomery when he tripped over his own foot because he got stuck under the center.
Yeah, he tripped over the center's foot and he fell. But what does that have to do with him being that tall?
Because he's lucky he could reach and just give it to Montgomery directly into the chest. If he was Kyler Murray's height, that would be going into David Montgomery's knee. And, he probably would have fumbled.
He was down on one knee though, and he was reaching up. So I don't think his height necessarily mattered that much, especially since Montgomery was running forward. I mean, it was just, do you have the wherewithal to do that?
And luckily Montgomery did.
Goff had the he knew what he was doing, and when I saw his knee hit the ground, I was pissing my pants. But then I was like, oh wait, it's not college football.
Thank God it's not college football.
He can still get up and run.
And that's what they said over the broadcast. They're like, this ain't college, so that can happen. He wasn't touched.
No, he wasn't. He was supposed by his own team,
so it don't count.
No, and
the amount of crying from Packers fans about the refs.
What did we do that they didn't do the same or get penalized for themselves?
I know. My dad called me. He's like, I didn't really watch the game. Like, was it that bad officiating? I'm like, they were complaining about holding. You can literally call holding on every single play.
Every single play.
The one where Jordan Love kind of got smacked in the face by Zadarius Smith. Let the boys play ball. Okay.
He was like, if I remember correctly, on that play, he was like swatting at his arm to knock the ball down.
Yeah.
Or something. Like,
let the boys play ball.
That's not a penalty either. Like, if it would have been roughing, like,
it was within 2 steps, so it was fine.
No, it's fine. And like, it's not illegal use of hands to the face.
No,
because he's swatting at the ball. It's just like where his arm hands up.
Yeah,
like it's not a penalty whatsoever.
I think of the Tucker Kraft hit where he just got absolutely smoked, but he jumped right back up. They were complaining about. They're like, "Oh, he checked him."
No. Yeah, I remember seeing. I remember seeing that hit. Now that was just. It was a clean hit.
That was a good hit.
And I feel like the officials on the broadcast too. They were like, big hit. Like it wasn't like, oh, that's a rough hit. It was just like, oh yeah, you got walloped.
Yeah,
like, you don't know what to tell you.
They were more making fun of the ref for almost getting in the way of plays.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple times, like a couple plays downfield, you saw the ref have to backpedal and jump out of the way and stuff like that.
I think Goff threw a dart at one of the dude's heads, and the ref was like, "Oh shit!" Luckily, it was complete. I think they were complaining about the Amon-Ra slightly pushing off or whatever for the. It was either for a first down or 4th and inches or something.
I think it was a 4. It was something like that. I think it was a first down. It was like a little bit of a bigger play down the field.
It was like a 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and he threw the ball down the field and caught it, and it wasn't a push off if you ask me. When I saw it in real time, when the play was happening, I was like, oh, he could get called or something there.
Once you get in the replay, I'm like, no, he's just playing physical.
No, yeah, he was just trying to create separation. He was just like putting his hand out so his defender couldn't get close. He wasn't pushing off. He was trying to create that separation so that the cover would stay back and he can end up catching that ball.
Skip flopping was hilarious.
Got a penalty out of it.
I know, it's just funny though.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game. And honestly, if you look at that,
and Quay knew.
Yeah, but if you look at that play, if you look at him getting pushed, it very well could have been he legitimately got pushed down. He did. Skip's a big dude. It would take a lot to push that dude down.
6'9", 330, I think.
But it's it did look like he got pushed down, but then you slow it down, and it's like, oh yeah, he flopped.
He knew it too. He was on the broadcast. He was winking.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Josh Allen, the flop artist, so he did that once against the Rams too. So
I mean,
don't hate the player, hate the game.
yeah. I mean, so I'm not. It was very for every divisional game. It's always going to be close.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially now that we're getting towards the end of the year, and we have Minnesota right on our tail. And
Bro,
I mean,
I wish
Chicago will be an
Minnesota would
easier
just
game.
fucking lose, dude.
Yeah, the Falcons kind of botched it for us. The Falcons were right there, and they could have won that
It was
game.
21-21, fourth quarter.
With like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. I was watching that game because I was like, come on, Kirk.
Yeah, so I was watching that. But yeah, it threw an interception.
Kirk fucking sucks, dude.
No, yeah, you see, they're thinking the Falcons are thinking of sending him and putting Penix.
Good.
The last few games of the year.
Good. Did Goff throw an interception?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did either. No. There were no turnovers by the Lions.
No.
Yeah, only by Christian Watson.
Yeah.
That was a huge play.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good play.
And Pat O'Connor, I hope we give him a decent deal. What I think is going to happen, now I could be wrong, and it's probably because I don't know football, but I think we'll end up getting rid of like Pascal and the people that are just too injury prone at this point.
Davenport.
And we'll end up like bringing up Pat O'Connor and people like that.
Yeah. Tim Patrick. Two touchdowns.
Yeah, huge. We ran the same concept a lot, and it worked.
We did, yeah. We ran kind of like the same concept with with different routes, or like it would be like the same route concept with a play action attached.
Yeah.
Like that. It was a little bit different, so it would look different, and then the defense would almost be like, all right, they're setting up this way, but then we would run the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, it was the same as last play, and then they would have enough time to react.
And it was Gibbs, and he scored. Yeah. And you could tell from their DBs, they were getting hot. Because they're like, it's the same fucking play.
Yeah. I mean, if it works,
that's their fault. But
yeah, just stop it. Like, if it works, keep on doing it.
Matt LaFleur was like complaining.
Matt LaFleur was pissed. Matt LaFleur also got it into someone with a Lions fan at the beginning of the game. But then
yeah. What did the dude say?
I think he was just talking shit about the Packers. Like, he was just like you guys suck. Like, you prepare to lose. Get the plane ready. Like, shit like that. And he was like, fuck you.
I know, he said, fuck you.
And it was like, dude, like, you mean to tell me you can't take criticism like that? And I think the difference was the dude was on the field. Because they were doing, like, the fan talk thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was the difference. It's like, this dude's on the field and he's talking shit to my face.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what the hell are you doing? He's a fan. He's just talking his game. Like, shut up.
I know, but I think if I was the coach, I would be talking shit too.
I'd be talking.
I probably would say fuck you.
No, I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't say fuck you and get in the guy's face.
I would
like,
say,
watch what happens. Just like you.
I would be saying like, this is why you're a fan and I'm a coach.
Yeah. I'll be like, well, we'll see what happens. Like, you still got the game to play. We'll see.
Dude, if anything, number 55 on the Packers should have got a penalty for when the play was dead, jumping into the pile.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure what happened with that one was, I think that was one of the players where like they thought the ball came loose.
Yeah, even LaFleur looked at his dude. He's like, "The fuck you doing?"
No, yeah, you can get called for a penalty for that, like a late hit.
We have. So I'm like,
you've gotten called for late hits before, where the dude's like still 1 foot in the green, and you like tackle him out of bounds.
Well, yeah, that's the whole Caleb Williams thing. Yeah. And Amon-Ra St. Brown was on his podcast talking about it. He's like, Dan Campbell told us, and right before we came out, he's like, he's going to do the fake going outside. He's like, no, we don't.
No.
You hit his ass. He's like, I already warned the refs that he's going to try it.
Yeah, you're going to hit him. Like, that's what me and my dad talk about all the time. Like, when a quarterback is running out of bounds and they like get to like that last couple yards where they're just trotting out of bounds, hit him.
Yeah,
he's a football player.
Yeah,
and he's running the ball. hits him.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell are you doing just watching him run out of bounds? Because what happens if you stop and he just takes off down the road?
exactly,
Like,
which
it's
has
happened before.
happened.
Yeah, with
That's
Pat
probably
Mahomes.
now the Azir Al Sadiq situation.
They probably were scared because of that. They didn't want to get in the middle of the hit or get a fine or not get suspended or rejected or something like that.
No, I'm talking about at the same time, like you can see it from his perspective. Like he didn't know if he was going to do a fake slide or not.
No. I will say that this Al Shadir side that or tackle that was a bad one because you can see that when he dove when Trevor Lawrence was sliding, the guy dove at him on the ground and like led with his forearm on the ground. That was a bad hit. If it would be different if like he was trying to hit him like at the waist and he came up and his knee hit his helmet or like he fell like on top of him and knocked him
Or
out
even
like on
if he
top of him.
dived but tried to dive over him.
Right, yeah, and he still ended up clipping him or like landing on his head or something like that.
Yeah.
He dove at him on the ground while he was already in the process of sliding. That, no,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't agree with
I
that.
think Dan Campbell did the smart thing and told the refs what's going to happen.
No, yeah, you kind of have to. It's like, dude, like, listen, my guys play physical, and we're playing football. We're
Yeah.
not playing fucking soccer or rugby.
He's
Like, this is
like,
football.
and he probably told the refs, he's like, we've seen this in film. He fakes going out of bounds and tries to cut back in.
Yeah.
I'm telling my guys to hit him. If he's in the field of bounds, and plus, Caleb Williams, both feet were inside the green.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. I think he had like 1 foot.
No, he didn't even have that. His toes were in
No,
directly on the green.
I'm saying, but like he was like 1 foot was on the green, and he had 1 foot that was like getting ready to step out of bounds or something
Yeah.
like that. But he was still fully in bounds.
Yeah, it's so, and the rest actually were doing a great job during their game. So, let I think that's the way you have to do it now. Just be like, hey, ref, this is what he tends to do.
Yeah.
I'm telling my boys to smack him. If it comes to that, obviously, in the realms of the game, don't go
No,
be head hunting
No,
or
but like
any dirty hit. But if it's a legal play like Jack Campbell did,
drive him out of bounds.
yeah.
Like take his ass down and take him out of bounds. Hit him.
I think
He was
even
a
Caleb
football
Williams
player.
braced for it. That's why it looks weird. Because,
Yeah, he like put like his arm up or something like that, or like tucked the ball.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Campbell hit him in the hip, and his knees just buckled.
Yeah. I mean, that's the age old thing. It's like, yeah, he's a quarterback and he's a high value player and he's a high target player, but he's still a football player. Still got pads on, still got a helmet on. Hit him.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things in the new era of the NFL that I don't necessarily agree with. It's like you see all these old quarterbacks like from back in the day, like 70s, 80s, 90s. These guys are getting smashed, and they're getting popping right back up and throwing 60-yard darts down the field.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, but these guys they get hit and fucking like twist their ankle or like land on their shoulder the wrong way or something like that. And like
Caleb Williams, I broke a nail.
yeah, like get a bruise or something like that, or like a bad hit when they land on their back and like slide on their back a little bit. It's like, dude, go watch old film.
I told my coworker, I'm like, you can't talk to me until the Bears win a game.
Right? Yeah, like it's crazy.
We do play them December 22nd at Soldier Field.
Yeah, at Soldier Field.
And I think there's supposed to be like a good amount of snow.
Good. Yeah, I want the Lions to play in a snow game this year. That'd be pretty cool. Seeing the all white setup with the snow. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, we're supposed to wear blacks this week against the Bills.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, I did hear that.
I'm excited for this game. I'm happy that, dude, all I care about is getting that first round bye.
Yeah, at this point, so I saw this one graphic on Instagram. We have to win 3 out of our next 4 games, and we're virtually guaranteed the first overall or the first seed.
Even if we lose to the Vikings?
That's the thing. So at the end of the day, if the Vikings lose one of their 4 games, that game won't matter. Because they play. I'm pretty sure they play the
virtually the same teams we did.
Or they play the Seahawks, the Packers, and someone else.
Bears.
If they lose one of those games, then that last game necessarily won't matter if we win the first 3. But we do. That's the thing though with the Lions is you have to win those first 3. If you lose to the Bills, then that Minnesota game virtually becomes a must win for that one seed if Minnesota doesn't lose one of those games prior. So it all comes down to what Minnesota will do, and then Green Bay is right there too. If Minnesota loses but Green Bay wins out, then that becomes the matchup. Would be if Green Bay takes the first seed or if we end up getting the first seed.
Mm.
So it all depends on beating the Bills and beating the Vikings. But if we win 3 out of 4 and Vikings lose, we get it, and we just have to beat those two teams. Would be the two like quote unquote must wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah. An interesting week in sports. We have a lot going on this upcoming week with college football and with the Lions, and then obviously we talk about the Tigers too. Want the Tigers to do something, and then the Red Wings to get their head out of their ass or
Yeah.
get their head coach out of here.
Yeah. And then hopefully the Pistons can win more than 14 games this year.
Yeah, hopefully they can go back to the way they were playing at the beginning of the year too. Because we were playing pretty well. I mean, we are still playing well, but I think we're out of a playoff spot now.
Yeah. I don't really care about the playoffs.
No, not really. They did botch their chances at getting into the NBA Cup too. We
Yeah.
had to beat Milwaukee that one day. I think it was a Tuesday night. We had